Search engines don't see your site the way people do. They rely on structure, tags, and metadata to figure out what your content is about and how useful it might be to someone searching for it. In this course, we're going to look at how SEO and accessibility work together, what they do behind the scenes, and how the decisions you make when designing and building your site can have a real impact on both. Let's start with the basics. SEO, or search engine optimization, is the practice of making a website easier to find on search engines like Google. So when people search for something related to your content, your site has a better chance of showing up. We're not trying to trick search engines by doing this. We're just making sure our content is easy to understand. That means things like clear page titles, clean URLs, declaring headings rather than just styling them, adding descriptions to images, and having a site structure that makes sense. If search engines can understand what a site is about, they're much more likely to show it to the right people. Accessibility plays a huge role in that too, by making our site usable for as many people as possible, including those using screen readers, keyboard navigation, or other assistive tools. What's great is that the improvements made to our site for accessibility, like adding alt text to images or using proper heading tags, makes it easier for search engines to read and rank the site's content. SEO and accessibility are both looking for structure, clarity, and meaning. Framer does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to structure, but it still needs direction from us. Just because something looks like a heading or a section doesn't mean it's treated that way in the code. We have to assign meaning by tagging things properly. Once we do that, Framer takes over and outputs well-structured semantic code that makes our content easier to read, navigate, and index. Framer also gives us the tools to create breakpoints that adapt across different screen sizes. But it's still up to us to optimize our design for mobile, and since search engines prioritize mobile experiences, it's worth the extra attention. With that said, Framer gives us built-in access to the tools that matter most for SEO and accessibility, like meta tags, heading levels, image descriptions, and ARIA labels. But even with all that at our disposal, we still need to make thoughtful choices about how we use those tools. And that's what we're going to walk through in this course. Across the next few lessons, we'll cover how to structure our content with meaning, not just style. You'll learn how to write titles and descriptions that help your site stand out in search results, how to build more accessible experiences, and how to test everything before your site goes live. By the end, your Framer site will be more discoverable, more usable, and better for everyone. All right, so now that you see the big picture, let's start getting into the details. I'll see you in the next lesson.